We're going to rebuild this tongue jack. So I've got it hooked up to the truck now. We've got our chock blocks, got the e-brake set on the truck. So we'll take these 3 bolts off and pull it out and stick it on the bench, take it apart. Got the 3 bolts out. There it is. This is a HADCO Inc. company. When you look inside, you can see some rusty business in there, but it looks like we've got a piece of all thread going through a nut on the inside. So I'll just go ahead and let me turn the handle and you can see it moving in there. So let me unscrew it all the way. So looking at the jack from the handle, you need to go clockwise to get it to extend all the way out. It's hard to see down there, but I've got it extended all the way out, and it stops. It doesn't. It won't come apart. So, next step. It's got a pin here that holds the handle to the threaded rod, but it's just a type of pin that's been smashed on both ends. So I'm going to have to take a grinder and grind that off a little bit, slide this pin out. These rechargeable grinders are pretty awesome for little projects like this. So poke that pin out. There we go. Take the handle off. There's a bushing here. I guess it just increases the space on the... Not sure exactly what its purpose is. Maybe it's that it acts as a bearing on the surface on the inside there as it's rotating. Alright, let's see if it'll slide out. There's your threaded rod and the nut. Man, it's a big one. And there's actually a bearing on the end there. Interesting. There's another pin here. It looks like it's keeping that nut inside of the tube, but I'm not going to go that far. So you can see this thing's pretty dry. There's not any grease left, anything wet on this rod. So let me take this bearing apart here. This appears to be a ball bearing set up. Oh yeah, you can see the bearings inside there. So what I'll do is, I doubt I'll find this bearing anywhere, but if I just clean it up really good with some brake clean and then shoot some lube in there, we'll see how it feels. I'm going to leave these washers on here just so I don't forget how they went back together. After cleaning this thing up a little bit, I noticed that there is actually a part number on here. I can't tell exactly what that says. Nice, N-I-C-E 7056. Let me clean it up some more. See if I can get a part number for you guys. So I scrubbed with the Brillo pad, or Scotch-Brite, I'm sorry, and it is nice. I've never heard of that bearing company. Nice 7056, made in the USA. So I want to look this up on online and see if there's a replacement bearing. This one's still a little crunchy inside, but you know, because it's not a wheel bearing. Oh yeah, you can see the crunchy ball bearings in there. Since it's not a wheel bearing, and if I pack this full of grease, it'll probably work just fine. But I'll look online and see if we can find a replacement bearing. I've got some wheel bearing grease here that I'm going to use. So I cleaned up the screw with the cut brush and kind of cleaned up the shaft, the body here. And I've just got an applicator, and I'm going to smear some grease all over the place. Get this all lubed up. Now I didn't go all the way down the body here. Some will say correctly that all grease does is attract dirt, right? So I didn't want to go all the way down the body of the shaft here, but I did smear it around here, get it on the screw, and I'm going to shove some inside this bearing here and get it all put back together. You can see on the inside of the body, the main body, there's a kind of like a protrusion here, almost like a keyway, and that's going to line up with this slot on this part of the jack. In we go. So we've got it slid all the way in, and I'm just going to go ahead and take the cut brush to this bushing real quick, clean it up. Cleaned up pretty good. I don't know if it was super necessary, but it does seem like this surface rubs on the inside of that bore. So I just thought it'd be a good idea to clean it up. Maybe we'll put a little bit of lube on there. This was the pin that came out. I just happen to have this laying around, but I think what I'll do is I'll pick up a stainless bolt. It's a 1/4 inch. I'll pick up a stainless bolt, stick it in there with a nylock on this end, and then this thing's not flapping around all the time, but this will work for now. Get it retracted here. One thing I don't like is how this handle doesn't really have a bearing. It just seems like this is mushroomed over on this end, and that's how it spins. So when you're cranking it, it's just always grabbing. And it just seems like it should be, I don't know, if I could drill this out, take that out, put a different bolt in, maybe some washers and a nylock nut, so that it spins a little better. But right now I don't like the way this is, but I'm just going to leave it for now. I couldn't take it anymore. The more I looked at this, and the more it was driving me crazy how rough this was to turn. So I went ahead and ground the end, and this popped out. Let me see what I can do about getting a bolt or something through here. So what I've done here is I've drilled and tapped a hole in the handle, and I've just got a bolt with a series of washers that I'll use as a bearing. Alright, got it all tightened up. I put some Loctite in there so this doesn't back out. And it actually swivels pretty good. Let's put it together. That is so much better. So much better. Very nice, very nice. So you know something else I was thinking about? If I were to keep this on here, I could pull this pin if I park the trailer for an additional layer of security maybe, so nobody could operate the jack easily because I'd have the handle with me. So maybe I'll just leave that pin there and not put a bolt in. Anyway, thanks for watching the video.